Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. This is the third poem, Nature is What We See, for Emily Dickinson. The whole of this poem talks about nature, nature elements, harmony of nature elements, peace of nature elements, how great and wise nature is. Let's see a hint about the poem, the poet, and some sort of analysis. Let's go on. Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson, she was born 1830 and died 1886. She's considered one of the greatest poets of her age. She considered books her strongest friend, so she liked reading, withdrawn and shy. She spent most of her time at home in Amherst, Massachusetts, United States, reading and writing. Most of her 1,775 poems were discovered after her death, including one that begins, "I am nobody. Who are you?" Today, Dickinson is considered one of the most important American poets. So she is distinguished. She wrote a huge amount of poems. Let's see what about nature in her poem. Before we go directly to her poem, I'd like to introduce what is a lyric poetry. A lyric poetry is a formal type of poetry which expresses personal emotions or feelings, typically spoken in the first person. The term derives from a form of ancient Greek literature, the lyric. A lyric poem expresses the thought and feelings of a speaker about a setting, a moment, or an idea, such as nature. In this form of poetry, a poet typically uses vivid musical language to express the speaker's observations and feelings. This is a lyric poetry. Now let's go to nature is what we see. The first stanza talks about nature is what we see, the hill, the afternoon, squirrel, eclipse, the bumblebee, nay, nature is heaven. In the first stanza, the poet says that nature is everything we see around, like hill, times of the day, morning, afternoon, and night, as each has its own effect on people and other creatures. Nature also could be presented by natural phenomena like eclipse, small animals like squirrels, and insects like bees are nature as well. Simply, nature is a heaven, sky, or paradise. So here in this stanza, the poem talks about elements of nature in its simplest way. The poet says that nature could be hills, maybe landforms, afternoon, squirrels, animals, eclipse, phenomenon. After all, nature is a heaven, a peaceful place like the paradise where all people dream to live in. Nature is what we hear. So the first stanza talks about nature is what we see. The second one, nature is what we hear. The bobolink, the sea, thunder, the cricket, nay, nature is harmony. So first, bobolink is a small bird. Cricket is an insect. So in the second stanza, the poet talks about what we hear. Sounds of nature, like sounds of birds, sea waves, thunders, wind and rain and bad weather, and even small sounds of night insects or small insects and small birds, the humming of small birds. Nature's harmony is just as perfect picture, or is just as a perfect picture where all the right ingredients, all the right stuff in the right places. All elements of nature are living in a harmony and a cohesion. So this harmony and cohesion are great and perfect matching. Nature elements are surviving perfectly with nature's phenomena. So All elements of nature are surviving together, no problem, except when the human being try to interfere between. So nature is harmony. This is simile, likens nature to harmony, like something harmonious, perfect, completed. Okay? Nature is a bubbling. Nature is a thunder. This is a simile, likening or comparing nature to bubbling, to a bird, to a thunder, to a cricket, which is an insect. Okay, so many similes here, and it's very simple images. Let's move to the next. Nature is what we know. Nature is what we know, but have no art to say. So important our wisdom is to hear to her sincerity. In the third stanza, the poet talks about what we know about nature. Nature is what we know, but we are not skillful enough to explain. We cannot express or discover the secrets of nature. Man or human beings has a great wisdom in life. However, human beings cannot uncover the secrets of nature so easily. The poet says that nature is a great wisdom and we should learn from nature. He says that, okay, nature is what we know, but we don't have a method, a way, the ability, the skill to explain and express the greatness and the purity of nature. And our wisdom is so little in front of the huge, great wisdom of nature, which is created by the Almighty Creator. Let's discuss another similar figure of speech. We have a simile. Simile is a figure of speech that compares two things together with one another through the use of like or as. It is used to show similarity with the help of like or as, which show that these two different things share the same features. This is simile. I used to present one or two of these figures of speech in each poem until you gather all of them. It's better than presenting all of them in one slide. However, I did that actually. I put them in a sequence and I published it. A simile like nature is heaven. The poet likens nature to heaven as both share tranquility and pure beauty and harmony and cohesion. Nature is what we see, the hell, the afternoon. In these two verses, the poet compares nature to hell and afternoon, which are part of nature. Really, they all share the same creator and the same purity. Let's have some sort of critical analysis. Simple questions. What does the first stanza say nature is? Nature is what we see of hills, squirrels, small birds, bees. Nature is heaven. What does the second stanza say nature is? Nature is what we hear. Voices of birds, thunders, all these elements, and nature is harmony. What does the third stanza say nature is? Nature is what we know. He's talking in the third stanza about the wisdom of nature, and our wisdom, whatever it is, it's just a part or is a drop in the ocean of the wisdom of nature. And despite of all wisdom and knowledge man has, or human being has about nature, they cannot uncover or spread the secrets of nature. This poem is short, light, and I think it's interesting. It's easily could be understood. If you have any questions related to analysis or related to the figures of speech, please leave your comments and I'm going to explain it again in another video. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Goodbye.